Capricorn, week of May 20th through 26, 2026. Starspoken weekly reading. Capricorn. You have been climbing this mountain longer than most people would have lasted. And the world has arrived in your reading, not as a consolation prize, not as a participation trophy, not as a gentle pat on the back. The world is the final card of the Major Arcana. It is the card of completion. Of genuine, earned, full circle arrival. Of looking at something you have built and recognizing, without false modesty, without self-deprecation, without the Capricorn reflex of immediately looking for what's still insufficient, that you have actually done it. But here is where I want to slow down, because this is where the real reading lives. The world is not passive. The figure in this card is not sitting still, not resting, not at the end of anything. The world shows a figure dancing, in motion, at the center of a wreath that represents completion, surrounded by the four elements of life. The world says, you have completed a cycle. Now you know what you know. Now you take that knowing forward. This is your moment, Capricorn. Not to stop. Not to coast. To recognize what you've earned and carry it with you as you begin again, from a higher place, with a larger understanding, with a foundation that was not available to you when you first started this particular climb. On May 20th, the Sun enters Gemini, activating your 6th house of daily work, health, habits, and the systems that run your life. For the next 30 days, the spotlight falls on the practical infrastructure of your daily existence. The world in this context is asking, do your daily practices reflect what you've actually learned? Does how you spend your ordinary time match the level of the extraordinary thing you've accomplished? Mercury in Gemini in your 6th house sharpens your analytical attention to your routines, your health protocols, your work habits. Communication in your professional environment is unusually clear and productive this week. Jupiter in Cancer in your 7th house of partnerships continues its generous work of expanding the quality and depth of your closest relationships. One-on-one connections, romantic and professional, are where your most significant growth opportunities lie right now. Jupiter is opening a door in a partnership context. Pay attention. Saturn, your ruling planet, in Aries in your 4th house is doing deep structural work on your home, your family, your emotional foundations. What you build in the world is only as secure as what you've built within yourself and within your closest domestic relationships. Love and relationships. The world in your love reading, Capricorn, carries a beautifully specific message. Something in your love life has arrived at completion, and that completion is good news. The world in love does not mean the relationship is ending. For those of you in partnerships, it signals the completion of a particular phase, a difficult chapter that has required everything from both of you, a period of proving something to each other or to yourselves, a cycle of rebuilding or renegotiating or finding new terms. That phase is complete. You made it. What comes next is built on what you learned in that chapter, and what you learned is significant. For those in relationships, this is a week to celebrate what you've built together, even if celebration doesn't come naturally to Capricorn. You have created something durable with another person. Acknowledge it. Actually sit with your partner and name what you have. what you've survived, what you've chosen, what you're choosing still. Jupiter in your 7th house adds a note of genuine expansion to your love life right now, a sense that partnership is becoming larger, more generous, more aligned with what you actually need from it. For those who are single, the world in love signals readiness, a genuine, not performed readiness, to enter a relationship that reflects what you've learned. You are not the person you were at the beginning of this cycle. The partner who matches who you are now may look quite different from who you've been drawing in. Your action step this week: let yourself acknowledge how far you've come in love. Even if there's still work to do, look back at the distance traveled first. Money and career. Capricorn, the world in a career and financial reading is one of the most powerful positions available, and I want to make sure you receive it fully rather than immediately minimizing it. Something you have been building professionally has reached a genuine milestone. A level of mastery, a professional threshold, a financial goal, a skill set. Something is completing this week in a way that marks a genuine before and after in your professional life. This is not imaginary. This is real. And Capricorn's tendency to immediately identify what's still left to do before acknowledging what has been done, resisted this week. Fully. The world in professional contexts also signals visibility. You are being recognized this week, formally, informally, by someone whose recognition matters, for the quality of your work and the reliability of your character. Capricorn earns these moments slowly and thoroughly, and this is one of them. Mercury in your 6th house makes this an excellent week for refining your professional systems, the processes, workflows, and communication habits that make your work sustainable and reproducible. Saturn in your 4th house reminds you that financial security ultimately rests not on any single accomplishment but on consistent, principled behavior over time. The world celebrates the accomplishment. Saturn builds the foundation underneath it. Both are necessary. Health and energy. Capricorn, the world in a health reading carries a message that is specifically calibrated for your sign: allow completion. Capricorn runs on continuation. On the next goal, the next milestone, the next phase of the climb. And this orientation creates extraordinary professional success and extraordinary difficulty in recognizing when a cycle of effort is genuinely complete and restoration is actually appropriate. This week, with the world in your reading, the message is: you have earned rest. Not permanently. Not as a retreat from ambition. As a completion of a cycle of effort that required significant output. The figure in the world is dancing, not straining. Let your body do some dancing this week, in the sense of allowing lightness, ease, pleasure without purpose, movement without destination. The Sun in your 6th house for the next 30 days makes health and daily wellness the primary focus of the solar energy available to you. Use this month to upgrade something in your physical routine, not because what you've been doing is failing, but because you've reached a point where the next level of self-care is available to you. Capricorn rules the bones, the joints, and the knees, the body's architecture of support. After the long climb, check in with your skeletal structure this week. Massage, structural body work, anything that releases compression in the joints. You've been carrying a lot. Let the body acknowledge it. Personal growth. Capricorn, the world is inviting you into one of the rarest experiences available to your sign, genuine satisfaction. Not complacency. Not giving up. Not lowering the bar. Satisfaction, the felt sense that something you pursued with full commitment has been achieved, and that achievement is real and good and yours. This is harder for Capricorn than it sounds. The same drive and discipline that makes you exceptional at building things makes it difficult to stop and experience the completion of what you've built without immediately identifying the insufficiency in it, the distance still to travel, the ways it fell short of what you originally envisioned. This is not aspiration. This is a defense against joy. Against the vulnerability of actually feeling that you did something worth doing. This week, the practice is receipt. The full, unhurried receipt of what this cycle has produced. Whatever the world is signaling has reached completion in your life, name it. Own it. Let yourself feel the weight of it as an accomplishment rather than a temporary resting point on the way to something else. The knowledge you've gained in this cycle, about yourself, about what you're capable of, about what matters and what doesn't, this is the foundation of everything you build next. And what you build next will be built from higher ground. Challenges and warnings. The primary challenge for Capricorn with the world is one that your sign is particularly vulnerable to, moving too quickly to the next thing. The world's gift is only available to those who pause long enough to receive it. If you treat the completion of this cycle as simply a checkpoint on the way to the next goal, if you add a new objective to the list before you've acknowledged the completion of the last one, you lose what the world is offering. Not the achievement. That stays. But the integration. The embodiment. The knowledge at the cellular level of what you're capable of. Take a breath this week. Actually stop moving long enough to look at where you are. The mountain will still be there. The next climb will still be available. But you only get this particular summit once. Stand on it for a moment before you look for the next one. Watch also for the Saturn in 4th house undercurrent of this week. Home and family matters may require more attention than your career focus naturally directs. Don't let professional accomplishment become a substitute for the emotional work Saturn is asking for in your domestic life. Finally, Mercury in your 6th house can generate the urge to overhaul everything in your routine at once. Choose one thing to improve this week, not 10. Closing. Capricorn, the world has arrived in your reading this week as one of the most complete affirmations the tarot can deliver. You have completed something real, earned something true, and arrived somewhere worth arriving. I know that Capricorn would rather receive this quietly, privately, without any fuss. So I'll say it plainly, without fanfare, you did it. Whatever this cycle has asked of you, you did it. And now you carry that knowledge forward, into everything that comes next. The world is not ending. The world is completing. There is a profound difference. What completes becomes the foundation of what grows next. Stand on yours this week. Let it hold you. Your affirmation for this week: I have arrived. I have earned this. I carry what I've learned into everything I build next. This is your Starspoken reading for the week of May 20th through 26. If the world recognized something you've been working toward for a long time, subscribe to Starspoken every week, your sign, your reading. And tell me in the comments, what cycle in your life is completing right now, even if you haven't let yourself acknowledge it yet. I want to celebrate it with you. Until next week, Capricorn. You made it to this summit. The view is yours.